Good evening, my weary academics, and welcome to History to Sleep By, where we nerd out and conk out. If you enjoy calm, narrated history documentaries, or just need a reliable friend to help with restless nights, please subscribe, leave a like, and maybe share a comment about what's happening in your life. That way, you'll always find your way back to us. Now let's begin tonight's journey. In the gentle rolling hills near present-day Gaffney, South Carolina, a significant encounter unfolded on January 17, 1781. This was the Battle of Cowpens, a pivotal moment during the American Revolutionary War. On one side stood the American forces, commanded by Brigadier General Daniel Morgan. Opposing him was the British force led by Lieutenant-colonel Banastre Tarleton. Morgan's troops were a mix of light infantry, militia, and Continental soldiers. Among his key officers were Lieutenant-colonel John Eager Howard, leading the regulars, and Lieutenant-colonel William Washington, who commanded the cavalry. Tarleton, known for his aggressive tactics, brought with him the British Legion, composed of light infantry and dragoons. The terrain of Cowpens was an open woodland interspersed with pasture land. Gentle rises and dips in the landscape provided a suitable setting for Morgan's tactical ingenuity. He planned to use the terrain to his advantage, allowing for controlled withdrawals and effective cavalry maneuvers. With a keen understanding of his men and the ground they would fight on, Morgan devised a depth-in-defense strategy. His plan was simple yet brilliant. He positioned skirmishers at the front to engage the enemy initially. Behind them, a line of militia was instructed to fire 2 volleys and then retire. This would lure the British forward, believing the Americans were in retreat. The real strength lay in the reserve line of Continental soldiers, ready to deliver a decisive blow. Poised to strike at the right moment was Washington's cavalry, waiting on the flank. Tarleton, eager for a swift victory, advanced rapidly. His forces, however, were committed piecemeal, a decision that would soon prove costly. As the battle commenced, the American skirmishers opened fire, engaging the advancing British. The militia followed Morgan's orders, delivering their volleys before deliberately falling back. This apparent retreat emboldened Tarleton's troops, who pressed forward with increasing confidence. Yet, this was precisely what Morgan anticipated. As the British surged, the American line under Howard executed a well-timed maneuver. Pretending to retreat, they suddenly faced about, delivering a close-range volley that staggered the British ranks. Seizing the moment, Washington's cavalry charged, adding to the confusion among Tarleton's men. The militia, having reformed, attacked the British flank, creating an encirclement effect. The British, caught off guard, found themselves surrounded. Tarleton, realizing the peril, attempted a breakout. Despite his efforts, the British forces were overwhelmed. The Americans captured numerous prisoners, along with colors, guns, and other material. Tarleton's force suffered significant casualties, a proportionate loss that weakened the British presence in the region. The outcome of the Battle of Cowpens was a decisive American victory. It dealt a severe blow to the British, particularly to the advanced elements under General Cornwallis. The triumph at Cowpens significantly boosted Patriot morale, inspiring confidence in the American cause. For the British, the loss forced a re-evaluation of their operational posture in the Carolinas. The battle demonstrated the effectiveness of Morgan's tactics and the resilience of his men. It was a turning point, showcasing the ingenuity and determination that would eventually lead to American independence. As you drift into sleep, let the echoes of history remind you of the courage and strategy that shaped our world. The Battle of Cowpens stands as a testament to the power of clever planning and the indomitable spirit of those who fight for their beliefs. May your dreams be as peaceful as the quiet fields of Cowpens, where once the sounds of battle gave way to the whispers of victory. In the wake of the Battle of Cowpens, General Nathanael Greene, a man of quiet resolve and strategic brilliance, took the reins of the Southern campaign with renewed vigor. His mind was a tapestry of plans and contingencies, each thread woven with care and foresight. Greene understood the landscape as both ally and adversary, using its contours to mask his movements and confound his foes. The Southern theater, with its dense forests and winding rivers, offered both sanctuary and peril, demanding a commander who could navigate its complexities with deftness and intuition. Greene's strategy was one of attrition, a dance of delay and deception. He aimed to stretch the British supply lines thin, drawing them deeper into the hinterlands where their numbers and discipline would be tested. His forces, though smaller, were nimble and adaptive, capable of striking swiftly and retreating into the shadows. This approach frustrated the British, who found themselves ensnared in a war of endurance rather than decisive engagements. Greene's tactics were not just about survival, but about wearing down the enemy's will, a slow erosion of their resolve. The British, under Lord Cornwallis, were relentless in their pursuit, yet each step forward seemed to lead them further from their goals. Cornwallis, a seasoned commander, was caught in a web of his own making, his forces stretched and weary. The terrain was unforgiving, and the local populace, emboldened by Patriot successes, was increasingly uncooperative. Supplies dwindled, and the promise of victory seemed to recede like a mirage on the horizon. Cornwallis's frustration grew, a simmering tension beneath his composed exterior. As the campaign unfolded, Greene's forces engaged in a series of skirmishes, each one a calculated risk. These encounters, though small in scale, were significant in their cumulative effect. They chipped away at British strength and morale, each clash a reminder of the tenacity of the American spirit. Greene's men, many of whom were militia, fought with a fervor born of necessity and conviction. They were defending their homes, their families, their future. This personal stake infused their efforts with a resilience that was hard to match. The countryside itself seemed to conspire with Greene, its natural features offering both refuge and advantage. Rivers became barriers, forests transformed into fortresses. Greene's knowledge of the land was intimate, a familiarity that allowed him to maneuver with a confidence that eluded his adversaries. His decisions were guided by a deep understanding of both his men and the environment, a synergy that proved formidable. As the weeks turned into months, the British found themselves increasingly isolated. Greene's strategy of attrition was taking its toll. The cost of maintaining their position in the south was becoming untenable. Cornwallis, ever the pragmatist, began to see the futility of his situation. The decision to shift his focus northward was not made lightly, but it was a recognition of the strategic impasse he faced. The move to Virginia was a gamble, a bid to regroup and reassert control. Yet it was also a tacit acknowledgement of Greene's success in the South. The American forces, buoyed by their achievements, continued to press their advantage. Greene's leadership had galvanized them, transforming a disparate collection of soldiers into a cohesive force. His ability to inspire trust and loyalty was as crucial as his tactical acumen. Under his command, they had become more than just an army. They were a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope for a fledgling nation. As the campaign drew to a close, the impact of Greene's strategy was undeniable. The British, once confident of their superiority, had been humbled by a foe they had underestimated. The lessons of the Southern campaign would resonate throughout the remainder of the war, shaping the strategies and decisions of both sides. Greene's legacy was not just in the battles he fought, but in the spirit he embodied, a spirit of perseverance and ingenuity that would carry the American cause to its ultimate victory. In the quiet moments, as the fires burned low and the night settled over the camps, the soldiers would reflect on their journey. They had faced hardships and uncertainty, yet they had endured. Their stories, like the land they defended, were etched with the marks of struggle and triumph. The Southern campaign was a testament to the power of determination and the belief in a cause greater than oneself. As you drift into dreams, let the echoes of their courage and sacrifice guide you to a place of peace and reflection, where the past whispers its wisdom to those who listen. In the stillness of the night, the gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets of the past, carrying tales of valor and resolve through the cool southern air. The soldiers, weary yet resolute, found solace in the camaraderie that had grown among them. Each man, a thread in the tapestry of revolution, knew that his part, however small, was woven into the larger story of their struggle. The Southern campaign had been a crucible, testing their mettle and forging bonds that would endure beyond the battlefield. As the moon cast its silver glow over the encampments, thoughts turned to the land itself. The rolling hills and dense forests had been both ally and adversary, shaping the course of battles and offering refuge in times of retreat. This land, with its rivers and valleys, had borne witness to the clash of ideals and the relentless march of history. It was a land that had nurtured dreams of freedom, dreams that now seemed within reach, despite the long road still ahead. The soldiers gathered around their fires, shared stories of home and hopes for the future. These moments of quiet reflection were a balm for their tired spirits, a reminder of what they fought for. The laughter and murmured conversations mingled with the crackling of the fire, creating a symphony of resilience and hope. Each story, each voice, added to the collective memory of a nation being born amidst the trials of war. In these moments, the figure of Nathaniel Greene loomed large, not just as a leader, but as a symbol of the perseverance that defined their struggle. His strategies, often born of necessity and innovation, had turned the tide in favor of the American forces. Greene's ability to adapt, to see opportunity where others saw only obstacles, inspired those under his command. His leadership was a beacon in the darkness, guiding them through the uncertainties of war with a steady hand. The Southern Campaign, with its victories and setbacks, had become a proving ground for the American spirit. It was here that the resolve of a fledgling nation was tested and tempered. The soldiers, drawn from farms and towns across the colonies, had learned to trust in their cause and in each other. They had become a force to be reckoned with, united by a shared vision of liberty and justice. As the night deepened, the sounds of the camp began to fade, replaced by the gentle chorus of nature. The soldiers, wrapped in their blankets, drifted into sleep, their dreams filled with visions of home and peace. The land, too, seemed to rest, its contours softened by the moonlight, a silent witness to the unfolding drama of history. In the quiet of the night, the past and present intertwined, creating a tapestry of memory and hope. The sacrifices made, the battles fought, were not in vain. They were the foundation upon which a new nation would rise, a testament to the power of belief and the strength of the human spirit. As the soldiers slept, the future awaited, its promise held in the hearts of those who dared to dream. The Southern Campaign had taught them many lessons, chief among them, the importance of resilience and unity. It had shown them that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the will to endure could overcome the greatest challenges. This spirit, born in the fires of conflict, would carry them forward, guiding their steps as they forged a new path. As dawn approached, the first light of day began to chase away the shadows, heralding a new beginning. The soldiers stirred, ready to face whatever lay ahead with renewed determination. The journey was far from over, but they knew that together they could weather any storm. The land, with its scars and beauty, would continue to be their stage, a constant companion in their quest for freedom. In the gentle embrace of morning, the echoes of the past lingered, a reminder of the courage and sacrifice that had brought them to this moment. The Southern Campaign, with all its trials and triumphs, was a chapter in the story of a nation, a story that would continue to unfold, shaped by the dreams and deeds of those who dared to believe in a brighter future. As the sun rose, it cast its golden light over the land, illuminating the path ahead, a path forged by the indomitable spirit of those who had come before. The morning sun stretched across the landscape, casting long shadows that danced upon the dew-kissed grass. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of earth and the promise of a new day. Birds began their morning chorus, their songs weaving through the trees like gentle whispers of hope. The land, vast and untamed, seemed to breathe with a life of its own, a silent witness to the unfolding story of those who walked upon it. The travelers moved with a quiet determination, their footsteps a steady rhythm against the soft earth. Each step was a testament to their resolve, a promise to themselves and to each other that they would continue forward, no matter the obstacles. The journey had been long, fraught with challenges that tested their strength and spirit. Yet, in the face of adversity, they had found a unity that bound them together, stronger than any chain. As they walked, their thoughts drifted to the past, to the moments that had shaped their journey. Memories of battles fought and won, of friends lost and found, lingered in their minds like echoes of a distant song. These memories were not just reminders of what had been, but also of what could be. They were lessons, etched in the fabric of their lives, guiding them as they forged their path forward. The land itself was a tapestry of history, each hill and valley holding stories of those who had come before. It was a place of both beauty and hardship, where the elements could be as unforgiving as they were breathtaking. Yet it was also a land of opportunity, a canvas upon which dreams could be painted. The travelers knew that their journey was not just about reaching a destination, but about the journey itself, the experiences and growth that came with each step. As the day unfolded, the sun climbed higher in the sky, its warmth a gentle embrace. The travelers paused to rest, taking refuge in the shade of a towering oak. Its branches spread wide, offering shelter and solace. They shared a simple meal, the taste of bread and cheese, a reminder of the small comforts that sustained them. Laughter and conversation flowed easily, a balm for weary souls. In these moments of quiet reflection, they found strength in each other. The bonds they had formed were as enduring as the land itself, a testament to the power of shared dreams and shared struggles. They knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, drawing upon the courage and resilience that had brought them this far. As the afternoon sun began its descent, casting a golden hue over the landscape, the travelers resumed their journey. The path ahead was uncertain, but they embraced it with open hearts and open minds. Each step was a step into the unknown, a step toward a future they were determined to shape with their own hands. The land, with its rolling hills and endless horizons, seemed to stretch on forever. It was a reminder of the vastness of the world and the endless possibilities it held. The travelers knew that their journey was but one of many, a single thread in the rich tapestry of history. Yet they also knew that their actions, their choices, could leave a lasting impact, a legacy for those who would follow. As the day gave way to evening, the sky transformed into a canvas of colors, a breathtaking display of nature's artistry. The travelers made camp, their fire a beacon of warmth and light in the encroaching darkness. They sat together, sharing stories and dreams, their voices mingling with the crackle of the flames. In the quiet moments before sleep, they gazed up at the stars, their light a reminder of the vastness of the universe and their place within it. The night sky was a tapestry of dreams, each star a symbol of hope and possibility. As they closed their eyes, they carried with them the knowledge that their journey was far from over, but that they were not alone. The land, with its scars and beauty, would continue to be their stage, a constant companion in their quest for freedom and fulfillment. The journey was a testament to the power of the human spirit, a celebration of resilience and hope. As they drifted into slumber, the echoes of the past and the promise of the future intertwined, weaving a story that would continue to unfold with each new day. In the stillness of the night, the gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets of the past. The cool breeze carried the scent of earth and wood, a comforting reminder of the land's enduring presence. As the travelers lay beneath the vast canopy of stars, they felt a profound connection to those who had walked this path before them. Generations of wanderers had gazed upon the same celestial expanse, their hopes and dreams etched into the fabric of time. The soft glow of the moon bathed the landscape in silver, casting long shadows that danced with the flickering flames of their dying fire. Each shadow seemed to tell a story, a silent narrative of those who had once sought solace in this very place. The night was alive with the murmurs of history, a symphony of voices that spoke of courage, loss, and the unyielding pursuit of a better tomorrow. In the quiet moments of reflection, the travelers pondered the tales of those who had come before. They thought of the pioneers who had braved the unknown, carving paths through untamed wilderness with little more than determination and dreams. These early adventurers had faced hardships unimaginable, yet their spirits remained unbroken. Their legacy was one of endurance, a testament to the strength of the human heart. As the night deepened, the travelers' thoughts drifted to the stories of indigenous peoples, the original stewards of the land. For centuries, they had lived in harmony with nature, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the earth. The land was not merely a backdrop to their existence. It was a living entity, a sacred space that nourished and sustained them. The travelers felt a deep respect for these ancient cultures, whose wisdom and resilience had shaped the very ground upon which they now rested. The stars above seemed to twinkle with a knowing light, as if acknowledging the travelers' reverence for the past. In their glow, the travelers found inspiration, a reminder that they too were part of a larger tapestry. Their journey was not just a physical one. It was a continuation of a story that had begun long before their time. Each step they took was a tribute to those who had walked before them, a promise to honor their legacy by forging their own path. As the first light of dawn began to paint the horizon, the travelers stirred from their slumber. The air was crisp and invigorating, filled with the promise of a new day. They rose with a renewed sense of purpose, their hearts buoyed by the knowledge that they were part of something greater. The journey ahead was uncertain, but they embraced it with open arms, ready to face whatever challenges lay in their path. With the rising sun at their backs, they set forth once more, the land stretching out before them like a vast, uncharted canvas. Each step was a brushstroke, a contribution to the ever-evolving masterpiece of their lives. The echoes of the past accompanied them, a gentle reminder that they were never truly alone. The land, with its scars and beauty, was a steadfast companion, a silent witness to their quest for freedom and fulfillment. As they moved forward, the travelers carried with them the stories of those who had come before. These tales were a source of strength, a wellspring of hope that fueled their journey. With each passing day, they added their own chapters to this timeless narrative, weaving their experiences into the rich tapestry of history. The journey was far from over, but they knew that they were part of something enduring, something that would continue to unfold long after they had reached their destination. In the quiet moments of reflection, they understood that the journey was not just about reaching a destination. It was about the connections they forged along the way, the lessons they learned, and the legacy they would leave behind. As they continued on their path, they carried with them the spirit of those who had come before, their courage and resilience, a guiding light in the darkness. The journey was a celebration of life, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and embrace possibility. With each step, they honored the past, embraced the present, and looked to the future with hope and determination. The land, with its scars and beauty, would continue to be their stage, a constant companion in their quest for freedom and fulfillment. As they moved forward, they knew that their story was just one of many, a single thread in the vast tapestry of time.